Hello, everybody. Yes, I'm finally warm and comfy, but yesterday was so much rain and it was horrible. I'm trying to still get some light here because it's something when you have to have a lot of stuff. Okay, so what I wanted to show you, and this is something I touched on before with my members a long time ago when they were not members, they were sponsors. But it is pretty much when you're using silk screen, how much, what is the color under the screen, silk screen counts. And not only that, but what a difference. I mean, you can do this with regular acrylics, not metallic or pearlescent ones. But when you do it with metallic or pearlescent ones, the visual is so much better. Hi, Catherine. So, in this respect, these are three of the colors that I like the most. But what I want to show you actually is how it looks when I simply change the order the colors are. So I'm going to make a Skinner blend, obviously, and how much changing the color of the order of the colors in the Skinner blend matters. I mean, you will see it is practically unbelievable. And I will give you some color recipes for other color combinations. But what I'm going to try and do, I will also show this with different metallics. And for this, so this is alizarin crimson, this is wasabi, and this is cadmium yellow. And as you can see, what I did was reverse the order of the wasabi and the cadmium yellow. And what I'm going to use, and you don't have to use these specific colors. Hi, Sharon. Just in that range. So any silver, right? Any gold, any copperish, any bronze, and any green. Now there are way more colors. You can find also a blue. There's a blue peacock. You can also use it with the color shift if you so desire. But I chose these colors because, as you know, you can always find them on sale at Walmart. I would recommend, this is how I get my stash of acrylics for cheap. I usually go to Walmart, the super Walmart, and I go in the craft section, and they always have in the acrylic paints area, they will have a little shelf with everything that's on sale. And what I focus the most on are various hues of turquoise, because you need that for the patina for faux copper. Of course, any metallics that might be in the clearance area, because a lot of times you can find them even under $1 a piece. And in this economy, we need all the breaks we can get. You all know that. So, as I said, I would get any type of turquoise-ish color, non-metallic. Any type of greenish, from this green to a darker one, but not, and even tealish one, but not a yellowish green. Okay, not something like this. You want a real green, and that would be for mostly for bronze and for brass. And then, of course, blacks, whites. There is also, I know if you don't look for clearances, there is also a patina, actually, a patina line. I think it's in the deco art. But anyway, you can easily amass a pretty nice stash of acrylics if you just go, you know, you don't have to buy a whole bunch at a time. That's not what I do. I cannot afford to buy a bunch at a time, you know. I just buy one or two, like every other week when I go for grocery shopping. So let me start with these. And as I got some comment about the noise of my machine, I am sorry, I cannot do anything about it. Save you know, muting the microphone and unmuting the microphone, and it's way too much because my brain cannot process so much these times. So as you can see, I made sure that they were overlapped here, and then I went like this so that I can fan them. And on purpose, I did not condition them ahead of time because I don't want them to get too soft and sticky, because you know how they would get conditioned while I'm doing the Skinner blend. So I did this for the first one, and you can do this kind of stuff even on what I call a dirty Skinner blend. Nevertheless, with this occasion, I'm going to try and do a relative nice Skinner blend. And that means to have a pretty gradient going on. Another thing, this will be not one of those wide gradient Skinner blends. Remember, I've been telling you about defined gradients. What does a defined gradient mean? Is when you have the very subtle changes over the line. There are very subtle changes. There is thin gradient when those subtle changes are in a very short line, and then there are wide gradients where the subtle changes are in a wide lines. When they are wide gradients, that is when I use my V-folding technique. But here you need a thin gradient. You do not need a wide gradient. So try to keep it as much as possible. And I'm going to use smaller cutters so we can see how that works all over the place. So the best for thin gradients is the rolling. But what you have to be very careful about is to not go too much left and right when you're rolling. I usually focus on the darkest color, and also be aware that at the end they will have the tendency to go like this, so make sure that you get them back on track. Okay, this is a little bit too much too far to the right, so I'm going to move this a little bit. And it's also a good way of preserving the width of your piece, because you don't want it to be too wide, right? Because the gradient will be like this, not like this. It will be like this. So again, it will take me just a few minutes to do this. I'm sorry to keep you like this. And once again. I'm trying to keep this. If it goes too much to the right, I will definitely have to insert some more wasabi. But I'm trying to keep it properly there. And there is a very old one of the first year that I started my channel, so the quality of the image is not that terrific. I just have to warn you about that. But I think it's a quite exhaustive tutorial about Skinner blend. So if you go on my channel, there is, let me actually show you. If you go on my channel, there is a search function here, and you can just, oops, it's not double K. You can just search, and you will find, this is the old one, so you can see it's been 7 years ago, but all kinds of techniques. This one is kind of like a double blend, but you can see all kinds of techniques that involve Skinner blend. And they also have a playlist, and you can find it also on playlists on my channel, with all kinds of basic techniques, Christmas pendants. I try to arrange them because at this point I did reach well over 1,000 tutorials on this channel, and it needs a little bit of organization for everybody to be able to find what they are looking for, you know. So again, yeah, I do need to add a little bit more wasabi here. And I'm going to add it right in the middle here. And if there's somebody who is newer to the polymer clay and might wonder why I'm using the rolling on creating a Skinner blend, because everybody shows you the folding. I mean, you just do this and you fold and you go through the machine again and you fold and so on. And I think also that I need to do a little bit brighter. Oh no, it's my saturation from yesterday's members live. Okay. Because when you do the rolling, you will get a ton of foldings. Like for every single roll that you have, you'll have the layers of clay, because when you fold you only get 2 layers of clay. When you roll you get many, so it makes the whole mixing to get the gradient much easier, and you can control a little bit the width, as you can see. What I do not like, and I will take off, is this layer of alizarin crimson, because yeah, as you do your Skinner blend, you can actually insert and remove colors. So I'm going to remove this alizarin crimson that infiltrated itself in the yellow, because I do not want it there. And then there we go. I'm going to thin it out again. And now this will be my last roll, because when I go back to, and what I was telling you, that it has a tendency to go a little bit wider, I need to get this back in the spot. So after this roll, I'm going to simply fold. The rolling makes faster mixing, but does not make good defined gradient. As you can see, this is a dirty gradient where the colors do not mix, do not change from one to the other very nicely. So, and I'm going to switch to a thick setting this time. This time I'm going to just keep folding, again being very careful to respect the line. See how it's a little bit too far to the left, so I'm going to respect the line here. And once again this happened. But now my colors are gently starting to go one into the other. And I think one more should be good, because you only need it to show properly on one side. This is good, and I'm going to extend it a little bit so I can get more than just one, but I'll get back to it, and I'm going to thin it out a bit so I can have enough pieces to show you the various colors, effects. To go real quick, so I'm not going to waste time with explanation, because I already did all the explanations necessary, I think, on the other one. But in case I realize that I forgot to tell you something, I will stop and explain. Otherwise, I'll just be going, because it shouldn't take me more than a minute to do this. Again, I'm trying to respect the lines. And as you can see with the rolling, it doesn't really matter if you have more or less of one color, because see how it's more clay here and less clay here. But because of the fact that I'm going to flatten it and then roll it, it's going to all come to the same thickness. So in my next roll there won't be as much from one color and much less from another color. So there we go. And once again, I'm trying to make sure that I keep it fairly thin it out. Okay. see there's no more like this. It's fairly even. And I'm just going to go ahead and work it real quick. I think I'll only need 2 more rolls and I should be able to start working on the simply fold. Just always pay attention to be line on line. Okay, one more rolling. I can start with my last roll. I'm going to start simply folding because it's enough gradient right now. Alrighty, how's the weather where you are? Because we had 72 degrees last week, and then yesterday it rained all day and all night. It was 46 degrees. We didn't get snow as they thought we would, but you know. And today is going to be 61 and tomorrow 70 again. So hopefully no thunderstorms, because we already have our severe scare for this spring. Okay, so now I'm going to keep going with the thicker setting. And again, paying attention and getting it from time to time, thin it out, because all I need is from these edges pretty much. I think this should be good. Now what I'm going to do is thin it out some, right? I mean as thickness, not as width. So I can have enough. All right, and let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 colors. So I need to try and get 5 of these. And be able to to get the most of the gradient. One. And whenever you have excess clay left from a gradient, you can always reuse it. Alrighty, 5. And on this one the same. All you have to do is to make sure that you place it, and then I'll show you what one thing that you can do with this. Hopefully I don't start hurting by the end of this, but you can do something really neat with these remnants. Okay, I'm gonna have to go back and grab that. Okie dokie. So I'm going to place them in pairs. I'm gonna need another. Oh, I can use some. Actually, I am going to use some wax paper instead of these for now. I think it's more appropriate, and I need wax paper. Well, I forgot about the wax paper to bring me a new thing, so I'm going to just use this. Oops. No, this doesn't work. I'm sorry. Okay, so this is one pair, a second pair, a third pair, 4 and 5. I'm going to place them on the mirrors after they are painted. And I'm obviously going to have to use different silk screens or different areas of the silk screens. My advice is to get fairly thin silk screens. I've shown this before, but where I keep my silk screens, I just got you go to Goodwill and you get one of those photo albums, and what I did, I just broke the thing between where you're supposed to put 2 photos, and I have my silk screens here. This would be a good one. Let's get it out. I can use 2 different of these ones. And this is definitely a good one. This one too, I can use different. As well as this. So I have 5 out. Alrighty. I'm going this. It's better. Sorry, I'm so fussy with this. Okay. And you can do this, I mean, I could have done this with just putting the two pieces of that together, but it's not really a must on anything. Have some paper towel ready. I have no idea what I did here. And I'm going to get my first, will be some gold. It sounds a little bit too liquidy. Grab this. Trying to get leaves on both. And I'm going to very quickly put this in water as soon as I remove it. Never leave acrylic on your silk screen to dry because it's going to destroy your silk screen. Okay, and then we put this away. The second one, make sure I wipe this properly. So always look at the silk screen. You'll notice that there's a side that's got like fabric, more fabricy type, and another side that's shinier. Always put the shinier side up. So press on it a little bit so it would go all the way in. And what should we do? Let's use the green on this one. Shake very, very well. Yeah, I never removed the thing from this. I usually work with just plain. I remove the cap. I don't use the. Sorry, my knee is hurting. I did manage to fall again Thursday, about a week after, but nothing happened. And yes, I did go back to the doctor and they took another x-ray, so I didn't scratch again. Just I seem to be tripping a lot lately. As you can see, this is a green with slightly goldish. I got too much of it. You always want to leave very little on the silk screen. Yeah, I have a bowl of water right next to me here. Another one. And we'll do the copper with this one. which of them should I use? Actually, let me put them closer to each other so I can use just one. And again, this is the more fabric type part, this is the shiny part. So it will look just fine even if it doesn't cover the whole area. So I set the reddish. And I didn't remove the cap, the plastic on this one either. Even if, believe me, I did use the, but I mostly use these for foam metals, so I just removed the entire cap. Oh yeah, the time is changed. I didn't realize, I forgot about it. So now would be like 12 o'clock. Good thing that the computer changes itself, so I don't need to worry about that. Again, we're gonna lift. Yeah, one thing I forgot to say is that these will go with resin on top. So, so you'd be aware, and there will be the effect will be pretty spectacular with the resin. And yes, the best thing to use to clean acrylic is alcohol, but it only works on fresh, relatively fresh acrylic. I mean, you can see I have some older one here. If I put alcohol, it's not going to take it out as good as the new one. It's going to take out some, but not all of it. And make sure that my thing is clean. Then another pair here. I'm trying to use one. Yeah. I only have one more mirror, this mirror free, so. Okay, which should we use? Let's use the ginkgo for the silver. Oh no, it's backwards. Oh, it was well. I don't know what's going on. Okay. All right, so I said silver. So remember, it doesn't have to be exactly this specific brand, whichever you have handy. And as I said, you can even do this with color shifts. And why I said you need to shake it real good, because otherwise it will be very liquidy at the top, what you first push out. And it will not look very good on the clay. And you need to make sure that you swipe really good. And again, remove it. put it in the water. And let me see. I know I've put one on purpose to be able to put a second pair. I've had Finnegan trying to get in my lap when I'm working or doing stuff at the computer, and then he sheds his fluffs all over the place. Okay, and the very last one. I don't want to touch the other ones. So for the bronze, I'm going to actually use this. I think it's the best. And again, press fairly. I'm going to go. Don't want to have to go too high, so I would touch the ones above. I have stuff baking in the oven. On other mirror tiles. I'm trying to get rid of as much scrap clay as I can before the move, so I don't have to just carry it all over the place. And again, very, very, very well. Hi Rhonda, hi Mona. Okay, and the very last one. Take it out, and there it goes in the water. And the hope is that I won't trip over this bowl of water. Oh goodness. Okay, I just finished cleaning this a little bit, and then we'll start with the resin on top. But you can already notice. Okay, I need another paper towel. Okay, so you want the edge of your little squeegee very clean always. Alrighty, so I'm good to go. Okay, I'm going to put this to the side because this is the newest, and you should not start with the resin until the acrylic is fully dry. because otherwise it's going to start smearing. Okay. Hey. Alrighty, so I'm going to do both of them because we want to see again the difference between the different types of colors that we have. So I will show them all to you at the end. But it's just with, of course, with the color shift you'll get more fancy color shifting, obviously, but just with the plain regular metallic acrylics you can get a beautiful beautiful effect. So as I was saying, other color combinations that I do recommend are white, turquoise, and ultramarine blue. White, gray, and black, obviously. I mean, you can just use the white and black, of course. I need this. Okay, next one would be this one, I think. Yeah, it is dry. And you will see that normally like this it doesn't look like much, but once it gets resined over, it is absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, the Qiao Qiao resin seems to make bubbles, but they go away very fast. It's enough to touch them. You don't even need a lighter to pop them. The moment you touch them, they are out of the picture. I'm gonna grab the copper now. It is dry. Yeah, somebody asked me if it's okay to put detergent in the water for the silk screens. And what can I say? You can put but just a little bit, and you'll have to rinse that silk screen really well, because otherwise the detergent can make a film, a residue over the tiny little holes in the silk screen. So that's something that you do not want to happen. Put this away and grab this one. Those will go together. Okay, let me make this one first. Now remember, whenever you put any lighter metallic on a dark surface, if you want to get the brocade effect, you always put a darker polymer clay color and use a gold, or I wouldn't go with silver. I would always go with a warm color, with gold or copper, or even, you know, the yellowish green that I used here, but not silver. If you want a really rich brocade type effect. But this will always happen whenever you put gold or copper or vintage gold or whatever type of gold. And as I said, even the yellowish gold, green that I used here, over dark. So for better, I wouldn't go with black, but a good color would be a rich dark blue, darker than ultramarine, but ultramarine works pretty good for that. Alizarin crimson gives a nice brocade effect as well. Okay, let me get these out. And get these in. Okay, and I need to clean my hands, and I am not completely falling apart, so I can show you a little bit of what to do with those remnants. And yes, what you hear are jet fighters that are taking off from Tinker. So as you can see, once the acrylic paint dries completely, it's very hard to remove. So if you do get on your that kind of stuff on your hands, your best bet, and that's why I always have some in the house at the sink, is lava soap. Use lava soap, but don't forget to put cream on your hands afterwards. As for for this, that's what takes care of it. Just use an older blade that you don't mind if it gets a little bit dulled. So let me get this really quick redone, at least partially redone. It doesn't have to be, it can be dirty, this one. So I'm going to fan it. And as you can see, I have a ton of, it's way more alizarin crimson than the lighter part. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to kind of redo it and then flatten it like this. So it will be almost like doing layered stamped mokumegane. And just do a little bit as an example. I'm not going to even do it too much. you're going. Of course, you can spend more time on this, and you can put even a little bit more of the wasabi there. But essentially what you're doing is, and I'm going to even cut out some of this alizarin crimson to make it easier before I start hurting too bad. And then just flatten it out like this. So choose whatever of the end colors is the least and use that for the top. Alrighty, so, and there we go. I got something. Let me grab it. Oh, this should work. Armor All. Then I'm getting a good imprint. You can use any texture that is quite deep. So this should be it for me. And a thin blade to shave. What are you doing? Oh, I couldn't. I need the thin blade, and I am going to use Armor All on it as well. And then real quick shave to show you how it looks like. It is, generally speaking, it would look a little bit better than just layering. You'll have some areas of Skinner blend. I didn't press a long time, but a good for a very deep impression, but I'm trying to get the effect in certain areas. And you can see here it's almost like a marbled stuff happening. See how I have different layers of the Mokumegane Skinner blend effect. And just try it. I cannot dwell on this too much right now because, as I said, I'm starting to hurt. But let's take a look at our pretty things here, because they are all nice and cured. So the gold, let me turn down the brightness a little bit on here. And you can see that it looks different depending on the color, and the colors shine depending on how the light goes on them. So from barely noticeable on the dark color to a darker shade on the lighter color to just practically coming to light. This is with the copper. I don't manage to get a... So this was the extreme sheen. I'm trying to get the proper thing without getting too much, oops, glare. Okay, you can see now, even if there's a lot of glare. Okay, the silver. I personally think that the silver is the least pretty of all. Maybe it's the texture I got. And then we go with the green and the copper. On the copper you can see that it's barely noticeable on the darker side, but then it starts coming to life. So as I said, it's very important what colors you get. So as I was saying, white and turquoise and ultramarine, just combine all three, okay? A violet and white, a violet and lavender, very bright lavender, so you can get white, lavender, and a violet. That would work beautiful too. Hi Colleen, you're late. You didn't change the it's the time change. And well, let me think, what are the colors? You can do alizarin crimson with excuse me, with orange and yellow, cadmium yellow, or even sunshine yellow. But the prettiest will be with this type of colors, will be with the ultramarine, with the blues, and will be with the violet. So try to, and the most spectacular, for me at least, the most spectacular of all is the gold. And with the bronze coming very near it, and I didn't manage to find my blue peacock, but the blue peacock is also gorgeous. And if you go on with the peacock on the blue and turquoise and white combination, it's going to be absolutely fabulous. So any kind of blue, actually. But one thing that I wanted to make you aware of, I couldn't find my coppers, so I used the extreme sheen. But even if the extreme sheen is splendid for metals, it doesn't work as good when it comes to these techniques. So go more for the ones that I find the best are these ones from DecoArt, this line. As you can see, they showed, and you've seen, they showed the best effects of all. There's also this DecoArt, which is a little bit more brute. I don't know how to explain it, but you can see it here. It's not as delicate. So if you find, your best bet for this type of effect will be this line from DecoArt. And let me actually see how much it is on Amazon if you are on the, if you're like me and cannot go much. I mean, I told you I get twice a week out for grocery shopping. Let me, metallic acrylic paint. So let's see. So this is the type you want, but as you can see here it is 580, and I'm sure you can find it much cheaper. This is a quasi full, but this is folk art, not DecoArt. A folk art is pretty good too, but it's not as good as the DecoArt metallics line. As you can see, I do have this somewhere. I do have this blue, and also the, so it's in the Americana DecoArt. And this is the, no, not the festive green. Oh yeah, this is the festive green. It's the one that's got some goldish in it, but I'm trying to find, this is the peacock pearl. It's beautiful and very similar to the peacock pearl in the Primo line. So I have some violet somewhere too, but again, do not buy on Amazon. Just go to, because you can see how expensive it is. I cannot believe how expensive it got. Oh well, there's that. We are looking forward to more expensive stuff. Anyway, this is the whole thing that I wanted to show you, and the combinations of colors and how it looks different. Because let's get this gold. As you can see, it looks different on the different gradient. So you can switch the colors and see which of them is the best for what you're looking for. But generally speaking, have a lighter color on the bottom and the darker color on top, or backwards, you know. You can have it with the darker color at the bottom. I personally prefer the lighter color at the top, at the bottom, and the darker color at the top. But this is what I wanted to show you. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you all next Sunday. And don't forget to like, and if you're new, don't forget to subscribe, and please don't forget to use my affiliate links that you can find in the About on my channel. And I hope you have a wonderful what's left of Sunday and a beautiful week to come. Oh yeah, and I'll try to get online Thursday? No, Wednesday. Sorry, Wednesday. Because it's my birthday, so I'm going to try and get in the like 5:30ish Central, so I can celebrate a little bit with you. Okay? Thank you so much, and I shall see you Wednesday and then next Sunday. Bye.